I need to sit. Okay, I'm going to just back up a sec for the online students. Okay, so we're doing this learning activity. You download this assignment. We bring it into Android Studio here. Again, initially there's lots of errors, so you've got to do go to pubspec YAML and do the first pub get. You have to load in the libraries whenever you get a new project from GitHub. So that'll load in all the libraries. GitHub doesn't, Git doesn't save all the libraries. It just saves the source code and stuff like that. So you've got to do a pub get to download those libraries. Once you get that, then it should clear up all these errors and you should have a running version of this. The current version runs on either web or Android here. And like I just explained to my students before, I remember to hit record. Your job is to add, there's 3 web APIs here. Your job is to add a 4th API here. This is similar to what we did back in Unit 4, where you did something similar with Java. So you can look back and see what API you used back then if you want. Don't do the open weather one. We're doing that as part of the assignment here. The currency converter we did, I think, back then, and I forgot to put it in this one, so you could actually add that one if you want here. Okay, and then once you get this here running, here it goes. It should load in this sample APIs. And we're going to look at just the basic structure real quick. So I tried to structure this now that we're getting, we're 3 weeks into Flutter. Aren't we 2 weeks into Flutter? But you are experts at Flutter now, is my view, as you know. So we can do a little more advanced stuff with Flutter. So I'm breaking these all into separate files here. So we have our main.dart file, and then we have widgets, UI widgets, data services, web services, and a data model. And you will want to you'll want to create each of those ones. So like, here's the actual sample data. It fetches the sample album title. It fetches a dog fact, and it fetches a series of space news articles and displays those. So let's see I don't remember what order I listed these in. So you want to create a data model. So under data models, each one, like here's the dog fact data model here. It's just a list of facts, and then a Boolean success comes from this, and it's a map. And then we have this dog fact from JSON method here. And again, I recommend strongly to use this QuickType IO. Here, I just pasted the data in here. So I said, like here's the weather data. It's in JSON format, and I want it in Dart with null safety, and then it will generate the code. And again, the name of this is whatever you want to name it. So I would call this weather data if you want, or dog fact, but I called this one dog fact. So that's the first thing you want to do is find your data, go to your JSON stuff, paste that in there. You can paste it in and actually grab the JSON file that's returned and paste that into here, generate the data. The second thing you want to do is work on an API service. This is probably the most interesting of these things so here's the dog service. So we create a URL, a URI here. So again, here's our dog fact. And again, like I say, you can just paste that into your web browser. There are other ways, more sophisticated ways of getting this data, but you can just paste that in. And here's a sample of the JSON that's returned. So we generate a URI. We do an HTTP GET with that URI. We have to await because that's asynchronous. So as soon as we put that await in it, we have to put this as async up here. And then we check the status code. When it returns back, it should be 200, meaning successful. If not, we throw some exception or log some error, do something like that. And if it is successful, we return. And then here we're just calling this dog fact from JSON. It takes a string and returns a dog fact. So we're just saying return dog fact from JSON, and we're getting the response back from the get. And there's two things. There's a status code, and the body is the actual JSON. So I'm just grabbing that body and sending it to here and returning that. And that, you'd think that was a dog fact, but it's actually a future dog fact because it's an asynchronous call. So at some point it'll be a dog fact, but for now it's a future dog fact. So you got to set that up. And then the last thing is you have to do your UI widget here. You have to build a widget that will display so we want to return a widget. We'll just do a build function here, and then we'll do a future builder of whatever type we're doing. We're going to declare a variable here and fill it. And again, this is where we're calling our dog service.fetch dog fact. So I had AI clean this up, and it did something I'm not used to doing here. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I'll show it to you. I almost took it out, but it imported as, and I do this a lot in Python. I just had not seen it in Darts. In Python, we import a lot. We import pandas as PD or stuff like that. It's abbreviation. So it's importing dog services as dog service. And so that's why this is here for that. So, and if not, if you didn't do the as, you just list dog service dot or this. So, okay, and then we have our builder inside our filter, our future builder. We have a build, and then we're going to keep track of things. If remember, there was those 3 states a future can be. It can be in progress. It can be we finally got the data, or we got an error. And so you should be handling those. So here's like the has, and again, we get a snapshot back here. So this is if we're still waiting, we display a progress bar. Here's something went wrong. It's done, but we got an error. We're returning an error message, text message, or widget that is that. Otherwise, we're getting the dog fact from the snapshot, and then we're displaying that dog fact here in a card. That was from my other class. Okay. So you want to create a widget, and then in main.dart, there's just a list view, and then again we have a section title, and then we have the dog section and a divider, and a section title, and here we actually running space news section in a box here, but you'll just add yours here. And again, you really just have to call it, but it's kind of nice. There's this section title we have, and then a divider so that it looks like, where was it again? It looks like here's the divider, here's each section, and here's the section title for each one. Okay. So questions on that? Data model, API service, UI widget, update main. So pick your API that you want to call and see how it goes. Certainly talk to me if you have trouble. Some of the API calls are kind of weird, especially if some of them need a key or API key and stuff like that. So, and some of them return different data. So, okay, I'm going to be quiet now and stop recording. So, what APIs did we end up using? So, Ariana, you're using MeowFax? Yes. Okay. I use Spoontacular. Spoontacular. What are you getting from that? It's like a list press. Okay. Okay. Alex, you picked out an API yet?
I'm just using the doc facts.
Oh, you want it? Yeah. Isn't the dog facts already there? So I want you to use a different API. Yes. see if you can do it with a different API there, so. All right, Nick,
Want to do a random genre.
a random genre of music, okay, cool. Grace, you pick out API? Okay, so maybe you'll do a different one, yeah, let me know if that goes, so. All right. Um, So Grace, I've seen this error once again when we did the XKCD images. Some websites don't want you to embed their stuff in a browser, so you don't want to just pretend you're pulling images from another website and display them on our website. And again, when we're running Flutter on a web browser, we can get in that problem sometimes. So it looks, and it's, I don't know what CORS is, but yeah, it seems like it's this CORS issue. I ran into that same issue there. So ChatGPT is suggesting running it through a proxy and see if that'll help. There's some free proxies, but you'll make it look like you're not coming right from one browser to another browser. I mean, I don't think if you're running this on your Android phone, I don't think you'd run into this, or you wouldn't see this issue, I think. Well, yeah, I think, or else do this proxy. I'm just testing out the proxy, but again, since you're getting this error, the chat, let's see, what was the error again? Client exception failed. I think that's what it is. So let's see if this. No, yeah, even when trying to do the proxy, it seemed like I'm still getting that same error. So, so I don't know if you can run it on something that's not a web browser. That might help.